Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Here I am back with another video on the Python language, and this time I am going to demonstrate understanding and visualization of basic concepts of set theory and common problems. So let us begin with the question that what is a set? A set is basically an integration of elements that differ from each other. What I mean to say is that set does not entertain any kind of duplicacy in the elements that are part of it. So let us just start creating our set, and with the very first example I would like to create a set S1. So here I write S1 and equals to. Now in order to create a set we also need to write a command that is, or kind of a keyword that is set, and let's just write equals braces, and I am going to insert 5 elements in my set. All of them are just numbers, natural numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So these are the elements of my set, and now let's just print our set. The name of my set is S1, so I'll write print S1, and just a second. Yes, here's the output. As it shows in the curly braces, all of those 5 elements that I have been inserting in my set. Now this was the first method, how do we create a set. Moving on to the second method, that is a pretty simpler one. Just simply write S1 is equals in the curly braces all of those elements which you want to insert. Again I am inserting the same elements so that you could find no difference when I print the output, and I simply write it as print S1. Look here, there's not even a single minute difference between the output of both of those sets. So what I wanted to show is that you can create a set with these two simpler methods. Now as we have learned how do we create a set, let's move on to the manipulations. Also just one thing I wanted to let you know, how to create an empty set. So empty set is a set that contains no elements as the name says. So in order to create it, just simply write S1 is equals and your empty braces. That's it. Now let me show you how does an empty set look like. Here's the output. You can see there is no element. Similarly, with the second method, also I must show you S1 is equals, simply write just set and the braces. That's it. Again, printing S1 just to cross check this. There's just no difference. Okay, as you can see, both of them are empty with no elements inside them. Now let's further step into the updation, or I should say the manipulation of a set. One can either add or either remove the elements from a set. Let's just first start with the addition of the elements. So even if you're adding the elements, there are two options. Either you can add each and every element individually, one by one, or you can add the data in bulk. So if I want to show how do we add the elements one by one, we are going to write s1.add. So add is the command that lets you add the elements one by one. Now since I have the set named as 1 2 3 4 5 s1, now I'm going to add the next number, that is 6. So when I will add this, and let me just show you whether the set has been updated or not. And yes, look here, I just don't know. Okay, yes. Now just make sure, as you people have noticed, that this time in the previous step I have made this set empty. I wrote s1 is equals set and there were no elements in the set. So now when I added 6, it showed me just one element, that is 6. Now let us add all of those previous elements in bulk together. So I'm going to write s1 dot update. Now for updating the elements, I have to put two brackets, 1 2 3 4 and 5. Now I'm going to now I'm going to obtain a set that is going to have natural numbers from 1 to 6. So let's just have a look at our set S1, and yes, as you can see, our set is back with all those elements we wanted in our set to be remaining. Now these were the two methods I showed you how do we add or update. Basically, how do we insert the data in the set? Now I'm going to teach you how do we remove the data from the set. This was the addition. Now I'm going to teach you how to delete the data from the set. So the first method you can apply is s1.remove. Remove is again for the deletion of a single element at one time. So let's say I want to remove 6 and I wrote s1.remove 6. Let's see whether our set has been updated or not. And yes, our set is surely updated. 6 has been removed from our set of 6 elements and now it turned back to 5 elements as it was the initial one. Also, there's one more glitch in this remove command. Let's say I want to remove the element that does not even exist in our set. So I write s1.remove and I again repeat it. Now since we have an updated set that shows that there are 5 elements. Okay, you can see what are those elements. Now again, I think let's say I suppose that the 6 has not been removed and I wrote this again, remove 6. Now you see what happens. Print and s1. Yes. Look here. It showed that there's a key error. And what is the key error? That is 6. Now the compiler is intelligent enough that it caught that I have entered the element. I want the element to be deleted which does not even exist in my set. This is a kind of a warning or a benefit by using this command that you got to know, or you have a cross check whether you have entered the right element you wanted to delete or not. Now let me show you one more command, that is s1.discard and I write 6. Again, my purpose is same. I want to remove 6 from this set, but let's see what happens. And I write s1 and see. Now when I had run this command, I got no notification such as what I got in the previous one. That was key error. Here I have no notification. So this is a disadvantage of this discard method. You are not notified that you have deleted the element that does not even exist. This is a very short example. I mean, this is a very short set. This is a very small set that contains only 5 elements. What if you work in a big data where you by mistake wrote a wrong element you wanted to delete? And in that case, when you didn't get notified, what a blunder it could be. So I suggest you to always use remove instead of discard. So guys, this was the explanation how do we add and delete. Now stepping it into more complex applications, and let's start with the operations. I'm going to now demonstrate how do we apply intersection and union. So let me create some more sets. This time I'm going to create 3 sets. My first set is going to have the elements 22. Okay, let's start with 12, 22 and 32. The next is the set B, that is going to have 22, 32, 42. And again the last one is, let's say, set C, and this is going to have repeated elements 32 and 42 with the new one, that is 52. Now as you can see, I have created 3 sets, and if you notice them nicely and carefully, you can see that 32 is the only element that is being repeated in all of 3, that is common to all of 3. Now yes, I was talking about the intersection operator. So intersection operator allows you to know what are the common elements between 2 sets or more than 2 sets. So let us find out the intersection of set A and set C, and let us store the result of the intersection operation applied in set D, in variable D. So if I write A dot intersection and in braces I write B. Now let's just print D. Have a look what values are being stored in our D. As you can see, there are 32 and 22. Now have a look at our 3 set. In set A there is 12, 22 and 32, and in set B there is 22, 32 and 42. Now only 2 elements 32 and 22 belongs to both of these sets. So the output in print D is 32, 22. The intersection operation can be applied to 3 set in one time. Now let's just have a look at that also. Let's apply intersection to all of the 3 set. So in order to apply intersection in 3 set, let's just manipulate it and write B comma C. One simple modification and that's it. Now let's see what has been stored in D. Okay, here's the output. It's 32. Now this was the intersection operation. Now in case we want the value that are different in 2 set. This time intersection gave us the result for the common elements. What if I want to know what are the elements that are unique in each of the set? So for that I will run a command known as difference. Again I'm going to store the result in D and I'm going to write a dot difference and in braces I'm going to write B. So this command is going to show me the result and the D is going to store those elements that are in set A but are not in set B. So when I just run this, I'm going to get answer as 12. Okay, here you see. Now let me explain it a little briefly. As you see, A contains 12, 22 and 32 and B contains 22, 32 and 42. The only element in set A is 12, that is different and unique in the set A and in the set B. So the answer is 12. Now if I reciprocate and I want to know what is that element which is unique in set B. I mean to say the difference of B and A. This time I took difference of A and B and now I'm taking difference of B and A. So just a simple, just a second. Okay, so just one modification and that's it. Reciprocate those places in the code and this time we are going to see the output as 42 and here's the output. You can see that 42 is the only element contained in B but not in A. Similar to intersection as what we applied in 3 set together, difference can also be applied in 3 set altogether. So let's apply this in 3 sets altogether and with A, besides A, I'm going to write comma C and let's just have a look what values are being stored in variable D. So yes, it's an empty set, which means that there's no such element in set B that is different or that is different or unique in both the set A and C, which means that set B contains each of those one element that is either in A or either in C. So this was a demonstration of intersection and difference operators. Now also there's one more kind of set that is known as list. The difference between a set and a list is that list entertains duplicacy but set does not entertain duplicacy. So let me just demonstrate it. Creating a list named as L1 with the values 1, 2, 3 and again repeating them 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, there is a duplicate element for sure. All of those 3 elements are again written twice. So let's just create L2 list and this time what I'm doing is I'm creating a list that is going to be named as L2 but the list is converted from a set L1. Now just read this command carefully. In bracket I have written set L1. Now what is a set? A set is the one that has no duplicate elements. So this command set L1 is going to reform this list L1 and will remove all duplicate elements. Now also I've written list. So list is going to make this set again in the form of a list and the values are going to be stored in list L2. So now I'm just printing this list L2 and you see the output is going to be 1, 2, 3 and here's the output. So this was the demonstration of a list. Now let's just step into its application, the real life applications. So now we are going to work on the string data type. This time I'm going to create one set that is going to be named as positive. So this positive set is going to contain all of those cities that have positive patients of COVID-19 disease. My first city is going to be Indore. The second is going to be Mumbai. Third is going to be Pune. Fourth is Ujjain. Fifth is Nasik. Sixth is a state, Goa. Seventh is a state, Punjab. And last eighth is going to be a city, let's say Bhopal. So as you can see, I have created a set named as positive, and it is containing 8 cities, 8 elements that are all totally different from each other. Now let me create a second set that is named as negative, and in this set I'm going to add cities Ujjain. Okay, so city Ujjain and state Punjab, and the last one, that is city Indore. Also I'm going to create one more set that is named as no patient. So this is a set, this is a later named set, and that is going to contain all those cities that are now corona free, that are corona negative, that is there is no patient of corona disease. So this is going to contain the city, number 5th is Nasik, then the first is Indore, Indore. The next is going to be Pune. Next is going to be Bhopal, and the last one, that is going to be Ujjain. So as you see that I have created 3 set. Now let's just perform operations. So I'm going to perform operation, that is result equals, and now I want to create an intersection between the set negative and the set no patient. So this is my code. Now let's just have a look at our result. Okay, I have wrote this wrong way. I've written this wrong. Once again, running the same code, and here's the output, that is Indore and Ujjain. So basically when I intersected negative set and no patient set, I got 2 elements that are Indore and Ujjain. Similarly, applying the difference operator, and yes, here I have got result as Punjab. Now also there's one more facility you are provided, that is you can also test the condition, membership test. So, or I should say if else condition. Now let me write if Mumbai in positive set, that if the Mumbai element is in the set positive, print danger. And yes, here's the output. So as you can see, the if condition also worked successfully. Guys, this is it. Now I'm going to end the video. So what you learned in this video is how do we create a set, how do we operate, how do we manipulate, update, remove the elements, and in last we got to see a real life example of application of a set. Thank you everyone for watching my video. Do like and subscribe, comment below the section and share it as much as possible. Thank you.